Hello and welcome to News Review from BBC Learning English. I'm Neil. Joining me today is Catherine. Hi, Catherine.
Hello, Neil, and hello, everybody. Yes, today's story, the country of Belarus has been accused of hijacking an aeroplane in order to arrest a political opponent.
If you want to test yourself on any of the vocabulary that we teach you in today's programme, there's a quiz on our website at bbclearningenglish.com. Now let's find out some more about the story from this BBC News report.
The Ryanair flight from Athens was approaching Lithuanian airspace when it suddenly changed direction. The airline says it was notified by Belarusian air traffic control of a potential security threat and told to divert to Minsk airport. The Defence Ministry of Belarus even sent up a MiG-29 fighter jet to accompany the flight. It says to ensure it landed safely. But after an extensive search on board, nothing suspicious was found. Instead, Roman Protasevich, a well-known Belarusian opposition journalist, was arrested.
Yes, a Ryanair plane going from Greece to Lithuania was diverted to Belarus on Sunday. Now, activists say that this was done in order to arrest a person who is critical of the Belarus government. European nations reacted angrily, saying that this is an act of state terrorism on the part of Belarus. The opposition journalist Roman Protasevich was arrested before the plane was allowed to fly again. Now, Belarus media said that a MiG-29 fighter plane escorted the jet to Minsk because of a bomb scare, but on searching the plane, no explosives were found.
You've been looking around, Catherine, at this story. You found some really interesting vocabulary that's useful to talk about the story. What have you got?
3 words today, Neil. We have condemn, outcry and exiled.
Condemn, outcry and exiled. OK, let's start with your first word there, please, in the first headline.
And we're starting with iNews. The headline, world leaders condemn Belarus for hijacking Ryanair flight to arrest opposition activist.
Condemn. Say publicly that something is morally wrong.
Yes, now we say this word condemn. It is spelt C-O-N-D-E-M-N. So there is a silent N at the end of this word. You write N, but you just say condemn.
Okay, it's not just lazy pronunciation then. I shouldn't try to say condemn.
It's a bit difficult, isn't it, to say condemn? So no, you just say condemn. It's actually the same as the word damn. D-A-M-N is just pronounced D-A-M, damn, and condemn is the same. Condemn.
Okay. Now, if we condemn someone, this is really, really serious, isn't it?
It is, yes. When you condemn someone or something, you're saying that this is, you're saying it's really, really wrong and bad and should not happen. It's a very, very strong criticism. So reserve it for really strong things, you know, that things like racism. You can condemn racism. You can condemn, you know, really serious crimes. People condemn acts of terrorism. It's saying that something is very, very deeply wrong.
Yeah, and you can condemn someone or something, but you can also condemn someone to something. What's that about?
Right, slightly different use of the word condemn. If you condemn someone to something, it's a way of describing a punishment. So you can condemn someone to death if they have committed a murder, for example, or you can condemn someone to a long time of imprisonment because of a serious crime they've committed. We also use it in a lighter sense. You know, you can say, I've been condemned to work in the basement for the next 3 weeks. So it's a more jokey use of the word, but condemn is generally used very strongly for very, very serious issues.
Yeah, and there's a noun form, and the noun form contains the reason why we have this strange spelling with the N at the end. Condemnation.
Yes, condemnation. And there you pronounce the M and the N in the noun form, condemnation.
Yeah, often used with receive, received condemnation.
Yes, or you can give condemnation, yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get a summary. Okay, well, on the topic of condemnation, there was a lot of condemnation on various sides with the Harry, Meghan, Oprah royal family story, wasn't there?
There was, yes, lots of condemnation, lots of people saying that other people were doing things that are wrong. If you want to find out more about the Harry Meghan interview with Oprah, just click the link down there.
Okay, let's have a look at your next headline, please, Catherine.
Yes, we're here in the UK with The Guardian. The headline, US joins global outcry at Belarus over seizure of blogger from Ryanair flight.
Outcry, strong expression of anger at an action.
Yes, outcry. It's a compound word made of the two words out and cry, but we write them all together and we say them both together as outcry, O-U-T-C-R-Y. Now, an outcry is a noun. It is when a lot of people complain or protest angrily and emotionally at a situation. So we often use the word public outcry to describe a situation where a lot of people are complaining about something that's happening.
Yeah, now, as you pointed out, the second part of the word contains cry. Now, we're not talking about tears crying here, are we? But it's a useful way of thinking about it, maybe, because there's strong emotion involved.
Yes, I mean, crying, to cry means when water comes out of your eyes because you're upset. It can also mean to cry can mean to shout loudly. So the idea of loudness and the idea of emotion really captures the idea of outcry. It's, like I said, it's an angry, vocal protest from a lot of people complaining about something that's happened.
Yeah, like the European Super League, for example.
Yes, when the announcement of the European Super League a couple of months ago happened, there was a massive outcry. A lot of people protested and said that this is wrong and they didn't want it.
Yeah. Now, you've already pointed out that outcry is a countable noun. We can use it with an. Also, we use it uncountably sometimes to describe the general state.
Yeah, you can say there'll be outcry or there was outcry about something. Yes, so it can be countable. There is an outcry, or you can talk about the outcry or the public outcry, or you can just say outcry.
Okay, well, let's get a summary. I've already mentioned it, the Super League, the idea of a European Football Super League caused outcry. There's a story that our viewers can follow, can't they?
Yes, just click the link down in the comments there, down near the comments, and you will go to the story.
Okay, let's now have our next headline, please.
And we're in the UK with The Telegraph. Belarus forces emergency landing of Ryanair flight to arrest exiled journalist on board.
Exiled, forced to live in another country for political reasons.
Yes, okay, this word is spelled E-X-I-L-E-D. Now, I pronounce this word with a k sound at the beginning. Exiled. Neil, how do you pronounce it?
I say exiled, exiled. Am I wrong? Are you wrong? Who's right?
We're both right. There's no need to argue. There will be no outcry over this. There are two ways you can pronounce this word. Exiled or exiled. So with a k or with a g sound. They're both fine. It's really up to you. Exiled or exiled. You will hear both pronunciations. They have the same meaning.
Yeah. Now, this word in this headline is an adjective. It's formed from a passive verb, though, which is a quite common way of doing things.
Yes, passive adjective. If you have a verb which is often used in the passive form, we can use it as an adjective. So to exile somebody in the active form means to force them or to send them or to require them to live outside their home country, usually because they have political views which are not acceptable in their home country. So if you are sent away, if the government sends you away, it exiles you, but you can say, I was exiled by the government. So often used in the passive, exiled.
Yeah, and then used with the preposition in to live in exile, and exile as a noun there.
Yes, you can live in exile, you can be in exile, you can be sent into exile as well. So lots of different prepositions we use with this word.
Yeah, and also the person is an exile.
An exile is the person who has been exiled.
Okay, well, let's get a summary of that. Time now for a recap of our vocabulary, please, Catherine.
Yes, we had condemn, say publicly that something is morally wrong. We had outcry, a strong expression of anger at an action. And exiled, forced to live in another country for political reasons.
If you want to test yourself, there is a quiz on our website at bbclearningenglish.com. And of course, we are all over social media. Check us out there. Stay safe and see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.